I hope everybody's doing well. I really wanted to do this webinar just to quickly go over a couple tips and tricks of how to talk to children during this crisis. And by children, I think we can stretch this to teen years as well, to adolescence, and different ways that we approach communication with each age range. And those of you that are attending, if you do have children or nieces or nephews or have clients that have children, you can help to maybe coach them in a couple of ways that are age appropriate to address situations like this. At least give them a little bit of a roadmap of what to address and how to address it. So my name is Nicole Festa. I'm the owner of H.E.A.R.T Counseling Center. We currently have all of our services online and available to anyone in need. And I've been trying to do a small series of different webinars based on requests of clients and other people I know, and things that are just needed right now. If there is a fee on any of the webinars, that money is going to formula and food cards for certain clients who recently became unemployed. So that's where that money is going to. So with that, first and foremost, remain calm and reassuring, which is kind of hard for parents to do right now because everybody is dealing with their own levels of anxiety, I'm sure, with jobs and just the unknown. Everything is unknown for everyone and very anxiety provoking. Don't forget that children in the home, adolescents in the home will pick up on that anxiety, and that we do model different behaviors for them in the ways that we regulate or dysregulate, in the ways that we process through and deal with different issues going on. So it's just important to remember that, you know, we are setting a role, and that a lot of our nonverbals as well as our verbals are going to kind of set a standard on how our children are reacting or what they are modeling as well. As you know, the formative years between 3 and 5, they really repeat a lot of things they hear and see and do. And so I think the biggest thing to remember is just that reminding them and reassuring them that they're safe, and that we as adults are doing everything we can do right now. And if they're able to, let them process through their feelings or help them identify their feelings. One big piece to remember is somatic or body symptoms. If you can teach the kids or teens to identify where they're feeling emotion in their body, it's greatly helpful to calming the body down, getting a good night's rest, being able to identify what they're feeling when they're feeling it, and then also providing those feeling words. You'll hear from a lot of kids 2 or 3 main words, especially teens. They like to say pissed off or angry. And really there's 5 or 6 or even 8 different emotions going on underneath that. So providing them the language to express what they need to is very important as well. Make yourself available. You know, a lot of times we get inundated with work, especially all of us working from home right now. So are you setting aside family time, meal time, kid time, even if it's allotted a half hour in the morning and a half hour in the evening, just something to let them know that you are available to them for support or questions. And they might need extra attention from you right now. This is a very scary time. And as we know, and we'll talk about later, a little bit later in this webinar, is the social media and everything that that is putting out, which is making adults nervous as well as children, I'm sure. And as you know, they have ease of access to a lot of Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and all those things. And there's a lot of false information going around. So this tends to provoke levels of anxiety that are almost abnormal for people. Unfortunately, in our world today, it's becoming more normal to be that anxious, but this within itself is causing a lot of fear. So extra attention, allotted family time, making sure that you are allowing them some space to express emotion. And remember, they could be expressing emotion in different types of outbursts or tantrums or crying, and things like that. So just extra patience during this time is definitely recommended. Sometimes when tensions are high, a lot of blame starts going around. We start stereotyping groups of people. We start talking maybe badly about our work environment, things like that. And just to remember that children and teens are hearing all of that as well. And again, we are modeling behavior and reactions. So you want to be careful with that and be aware of any comments that you're allowing in the family discussions around younger ones. Because if anything, it just instills in them that it's okay to be negative, it's okay to bully, a lot of different messages like that. The TV viewing and social media, this seems to be the biggest for everyone right now. We have so many channels of news coming through, so many posts on Facebook, so many text messages back and forth, and a lot of it is not really researched news. And so you want to make sure you're sticking as an adult to channels like the CDC, psychology websites have a lot of useful information right now. There's like school district websites that also have some pretty good information right now. So just, limiting the amount of time you're spending on social media, but as well as the children, you might want to allot, again, maybe 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. It's highly recommended that you stay off of social media and out of the news before you go to bed. It tends to escalate our bodies. We're thinking about different things, really not getting a restful night's sleep. So try to keep yourself on a routine or schedule with TV viewing and social media, and as well as the children. And I'll be providing you some really awesome resources I found, and I'll be emailing you guys this PowerPoint with all the resources of learning channels. There was something I saw the other night called explore.org, and it allowed you to watch cameras all around the world of live animals, Northern Lights. I was watching that the other night. There's a NASA channel where you could look at stars and stuff. So if anything, it's kind of a neat time to explore a little bit and see what is productively out there to do and kind of learn about or keep busy. There's lots of different music channels giving free trials for 30 days. There's workout channels giving free trials, or even just a free membership until April 15th. And that includes Peloton and Planet Fitness. That was the other place. Tons of apps to explore that are also free. So I think the social media can be spun into a more positive thing than what we're actually seeing on the news and a lot of posts on Facebook that are false information or not really coming from reliable sources. But be very careful and know that there are resources out there to keep the children busy that are very productive and very positive and even educational about COVID. If you want them to know about it and you want to educate your children about it, just do it in the proper way and find the proper channels to do that. You want to maintain a normal routine overall. And I go over this a lot in my anxiety webinar for adults, but for children, you got to think about they've just been, most of them, pulled out of school, isolated from friends, pretty much stuck in the house unless you guys are all going, as a family with the little ones to any physical activities. So you want to set some kind of routine or chart or schedule. You can make it fun, have stickers and, things like that. But make sure they get up, wash their face, brush their teeth, have their breakfast, maybe even make a little weekly calendar to stick on the fridge saying, okay, we're going to do these things. We're having fun from home for the next couple of weeks. To break up a child's routine is leading to unhealthy attachment. which could make them feel much more unstable, much more fearful, an increase in anxiety, sleep pattern disruption. So even the smallest routine, like I said, washing the face, brushing the teeth, having my breakfast, having my afternoon snack and my nap, or even if you have a teenager, assignments of some kind. During this time you can watch TV. During this time you're going to do some schoolwork. During this time we're going to have cook a family meal together, if possible. So routines are important. They're also important for adult wellness as well. Be honest and accurate. Again, with the social media and the absence of factual information, children can really imagine and catastrophize bigger situations. You have to remember they don't have the life experience that we do to have all the rational types of thinking that we do. And so you really have to educate them, affirm them, and comfort them in whatever way that looks like for your family. It's very important to do that and let them know that you have time for them. Know the symptoms of COVID. There are regular flus going around right now too. And so COVID has very specific symptoms. You can find them on the CDC website. I've also listed them here. But it's good to, maybe go over with the kids. Okay, these are some of the symptoms of what happens, and just educate them. That's most important. Don't keep them in the dark. Review and model basic hygiene and healthy lifestyle. So again, the hand washing song and the hand washing videos and all of that, you could be doing that with children. It's just good practice anyhow, but you can add that into your daily routine. You can add balanced diet into the routine. I do have lots of resources for food for children right now. If you guys need any of that, please let me know and I'll be happy to forward it to your email. I know some of the grocery stores are really lacking on different things to make healthy meals right now. And so there are many people coming together to make bagged lunches, prepped dinners, things like that. And I can forward some of those things to you. So just going over, basic hygiene and nutrition with the kids is super important. Discussing new rules and practices at school. When I did this COVID webinar about a week and a half ago, and this is how quickly everything has shifted, it was appropriate for us to go over the protocols for calling the school and seeing what was going on. Right now, I realize most, if not all, the children are home from school. It doesn't mean you can't go on the school's webpage to see updates or information, or different protocols that they're coming up with, or support. I know some of the school websites have been listing support and resources for families. So communication with the school, definitely important if you're able to do that. Although again, I realize most children are home from school. Take time to talk. So you guys know your kids best, whether they're teens or little ones. Let their questions be your guide as to how much information to provide. Maybe some of your age children, or the way that your culture does things within your family, there's a certain way you communicate. And so I respect that and just work within what your values are with your family when sharing information. And if you're comfortable, do know that the more education you can provide, the less anxiety the children will be experiencing right now. But again, it's going to be per family, sort of individualized ways to address these sensitive issues. Keep your explanations age appropriate. So again, like early elementary school children need really brief, simple information. Now you can have a teen that maybe also does well with brief and simple, but usually the teenage brain needs a little more detail. Early middle school children, they're going to be more vocal and asking lots of questions. What's going on? Don't shoo them away. Try to make time for them to answer what they're asking and allow them to input. A lot of the kids are saying things, well, I heard like 1 billion people died, right? And so you want to just make sure you're explaining factual information and making them as comfortable as possible. And so the next one, some points to emphasize are that adults are in control of this situation. To the best of your ability, try to let them know that, even though this isn't a common occurrence, there are many preventative measures being put into place. The social distancing and the reasons why we're doing social distancing, just really explaining those points to them. Staying home when you're sick, don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth. So again, those learning pieces as well to stay well. They may sound very simple, but a lot of the kids don't understand what's going on right now. So you definitely want to hit the special points, and let them know not everybody's going to get the coronavirus. And even let them know maybe how you're helping other people in the community and what they could be doing to be more supportive during a time like this. Let's kind of bring back morals and values with kids and how they can start participating in helping others be well, whether it be elderly neighbors or someone needing groceries or someone needing a prepared meal. You can still drop things off on their porch for them. It doesn't mean that you need to be in their face with things. But I think we could take this opportunity to really show the kids how community could come together and how this can be a positive thing through a very difficult time. And, the hopes would be that we're teaching our children resilience factors and ways to get through difficult times. Here are the resources for kids, lots and lots of stuff. I will email this to you directly after the webinar, so you have all of the websites. I mean, Disney Channel has educational things. There's free classes to take. There's different daily challenges. I mean, just some really cool stuff. I know some people, or a lot of people, are doing homeschooling, and so there are lots of guidance resources for that, which I've listed as well, whether it's science, math, English, whatever it may be. They can just click on some great links for some great resources. I know I read an article yesterday saying that Harvard and Yale students were doing live tutoring to K through 9, I think, K through 9th grade. There's also movie stars reading children's books online, so that's kind of fun too. My apologies about the barking there. Here's some more cool links for you, different games online, age appropriate type of social media things. So I will be sure to forward these to you. Again, here's my contact information if you should need anything at all. I will be having some more webinars coming up over the next week or two.